Right, there's Alan Moffat, as you can see, and Charlie O'Brien, side by side as they come up to the left-hander onto Avco Mountain Straight. Who's going to give way? It won't be Charlie. No way. And Charlie says, all right, Alan, here's a bit of grass. But Alan just has the good outside line, and we'll see if he can pull away from Charlie O'Brien as they steam up Avco Mountain Straight.
All those years with Victor would have made him rather good at handling grass anyhow.
Yes. But Charlie is coming again. He's sitting in drafting. He's going to pull out. So too is the truck. Up to the left-hander. Charlie now makes a wide sweep of this, and he'll try and cut back inside Moffat on the exit of this corner, but they're very, very close indeed. Great scrap this at the moment. As Charlie O'Brien, the outside, but that's nowhere to pass there.
They're having a great old battle there.
Moffat under some pressure at this moment from Charlie O'Brien as they head up towards the top of the mountain.
Moffat in 5th place, and therefore Charlie in 6th. The leaders are Brock, John Harvey, Alan Grice and Bobby Morris. And in 5th place, Alan Moffat. But there's a bit of dispute about that, as you can see. Charlie O'Brien really having a go, and O'Brien got him a hard line here as the other car closed in a little bit, but he slips through.
Beautiful view from our Channel 7 helicopter shows the gap between Alan Moffat and Charlie O'Brien. Now, once again, Dipper, not a great deal between them.
Oh, Moffat is a joy to watch through these bends,
yes.
Mike. Look at the way he handles that big car through here. He's pulling away from Charlie O'Brien. There's that car on the side there. Roger Cartwright's Escort has gone into the fence there. The driver is okay. The Escort is out of the race. Number 54, Victorian driver. Went into the fence just 2 laps ago while we were visiting Peter Jansen. And thundering down the straight goes Alan Moffat, pulling somewhere around 165 miles an hour. This is where the Fords have the legs, and this is a part of the circuit where he'll try and do well in this race. The man who's won here 4 times has had a pretty lean year this year, but he's showing what braking's all about.
Yes,
you wouldn't imagine him to be pulling inside a car like he did inside Barry Jones's car, and Barry Jones, in fact, is leading the 3-litre class in the Mazda RX-3. So much faster than the times last year, and yet he was outbraked by Alan Moffat in the big Ford, and that is great driving and shows the potential of these cars. They're not finished yet, and that really demonstrated just how complete both car and driver is. You just wouldn't expect him to be getting under the leading car in the 3-litre class under brakes, a car half a ton lighter, and yet Moffat did it and made it look so easy. Up Avco he comes now. Lights on, so the drivers are in no doubt that it's a fast car approaching when they catch the glimpse of that black, wide car in their rear vision mirrors.
Here comes the Volvo once again. Spencer Martin, David Mackay. Moffat coming up to put another lap on them. We'll see how long it takes Moffat to catch him going up to the top of the
Look at this front view. A bit of paper caught on the grille there. It could affect the cooling of the car right in the middle. Still a windy day here and paper being blown across the circuit. The rescue vehicle out to pick up another car. There are cars strewn around this track here. 6 kilometres long, and there seems to be a car per kilometre. Moffat has shaken off the dogged Charlie O'Brien. Maybe Charlie says, OK, Alan, you can have 5th place. I'll sit back here in 6th, and we'll decide it in the pits, or when you get a bit tired. It's a long race. Moffat, a much slighter man in build than Charlie O'Brien. O'Brien has the build of a heavyweight boxer. And here, young fellow, he'd be 12 years younger than Moffat. Has tremendous endurance. A Queenslander, one of the most promising young drivers in Australia, has driven for the Holden dealer team, now runs for the Phillips team, and has had some really good results this year. Not so much results, but really good form. He was in brilliant form at Sandown in the Hang 10 400 until he was eliminated in a crash with his teammate Garth Wixton when both of them were put offline by a slower car. And there's Charlie O'Brien just coming into view in the Phillips car as they come thundering down Breville Straight.
I was talking to their patron before the race, and he said that after them running into each other at the Sandown 400 recently, the Hang 10 400, if they could manage a win here today at Bathurst, he would publicly exonerate them. Which was very embarrassing at Sandown when the 2 team cars collided and in overlapping manoeuvre, and that put both of them out of the race. Alan Moffat, we've been following him, lap 33, card number 25, the signal going out to Moffat.
The race is 1 hour and 20 minutes old, and it'll keep going for a lot longer yet. 163 laps have to be covered to get the full 1,000 kilometre distance.
The last time that we had on Peter Brock, a little earlier in the race, was in the 2:25s, 2:25.5. Moffat, we were just following around the last lap. We're back on him at the moment. His last lap was a 2:23.9. Now, Moffat has taken down from 2:24.4 to 2:23.9, so he's obviously putting a little more effort into this, and the time we gave him for Brock, of course, was his first.
Let's just watch the front end, bearing in mind John Fitzpatrick's remarks about the shocks. You can see how the front is dipping there and hitting. Obviously having a little bit of trouble there with lack of damping. He's covered 32 laps. Peter Malloy, who runs the Channel 7 Ron Hodgson team, Bobby Morris, estimates that Moffat and the other big Fords will be coming in about 8 laps time for their first scheduled pit stop. So things start getting pretty hectic in the pits here at Mount Panorama around refueling time. He may take on fresh tyres, although with a new dry brake refueling system explained to you earlier by Chris Economaki, they'll be there for a pretty short time this time, and they'll be looking very closely at the